Hello, everyone. All right, so if you are here watching, thank you everyone so much for watching the live stream here. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. Let me know if the video quality looks good. If not, I can always adjust it. I have kind of a new setup that I'm using right now. I actually am using XLR for my microphone too, so let me know if the audio sounds good. It should be sounding good. The funny thing is, I had a few issues when I moved to XLR with this Focusrite deal because for some reason some of these programs don't like me running beyond 48 kilohertz anymore. I was running 192. But I output in 48 anyway, so I might just switch back to 48. But in any case, none of that really matters. What we're really here to discuss is basically, with this whole thing with what Nvidia did, is it actually good for us? Is them trying to block miners good, or is it going to end up bad? So we're going to have a whole huge discussion about that, and should be quite a bit of fun here. Let's see, looks fine. All right. So I'm guessing it looks fine then. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the stream on my end so I can read your comments better because the other one is delayed. Let's see. But yeah, if it looks and sounds good, let me know. Also, if you are watching right now, first thing that you should do, if you do like these streams, make sure to hit that like button so that more people do see the stream. And then on top of that, anyone who does a super chat today, by the way, this is kind of a new thing that I'm doing. If you send me a super chat, not only am I going to read it, obviously, but on top of that, if you send me a Twitter message or you email me afterwards, I'll also go ahead and I'll invite you to the Discord. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the Discord as well, because if you're in the Discord, basically anything you put in the Discord is kind of like a super chat too. So that's a good way of getting into the channel Discord. The Discord's quite a bit of fun. I think it's good. So yeah, in any case, let's go ahead and talk about this here. Let me know real quick in the comments, in the chat right now anyway. Do you think that Nvidia trying to block mining on the RTX 3060 is a good thing or a bad thing? Because there's actually quite a few arguments, in my opinion, for and against that do sound pretty good. And so it seems like there's kind of a rift in the community. I know Linus recently made a video basically saying how it's all horrible. But I also think that he missed a few things. He's saying all these chips are going to come out of the Ampere lineup, so you're not going to get a chance to buy them. And it seems like some of these mining cards are made out of Turing cards, and maybe they won't be, maybe they are all Ampere, in which case, yeah, it's going to detract from what you can buy. But if some of them are Turing cards, it may actually allow Nvidia to make more cards, so it kind of depends on how that goes. On top of that, miners are buying all the GeForce cards right now anyway, and they're buying them before they even hit retail, it seems. So like, is them taking cards out of Ampere really going to change anything? I don't know. So there's a lot of stuff like that. I know his conclusion at the end, I didn't necessarily agree with his conclusion, because his conclusion was you should just unlock the drivers so that gamers can continue to mine. And in some ways that's kind of true, but I think the better conclusion would be, let's put display outputs on these mining cards so that miners A, actually buy them, and B, they have a chance to actually hit the secondhand market. Because if you're just selling a bunch of mining cards with no display outputs and then they never hit the secondhand market, well, the only person who that actually benefits would be Nvidia, because miners can't resell them, so they're worthless. And then, of course, on top of that, you have gamers who can't rebuy these things at a cheaper price, so that just puts less pressure on Nvidia to give you cheaper cards next time if there's not quite as much on the secondhand market. So that's something that I really don't want. Let's see. Let's open up my Discord here. Let's get that opened up. All right. We got no need to be hacked, just mine Raven coin. Yeah, there's supposedly like a video going around where someone was able to find, they were able to mine different stuff anyway. So I'm not sure if this is even going to end up working. Now, Nvidia claims it's this amazing fix that can't be hacked, and et cetera, et cetera. But, if that was the case and they brought out their whole new series of GeForce cards, and all of the GeForce cards, they were so difficult to get around the hacks, or to get around the locks, that it wasn't worth it anymore. And then the miners ended up buying a bunch of basically Turing cards and some Ampere cards that don't make the cut, then I think that would actually help the scenario. But if you can just get around it easily, that doesn't help. If the mining cards don't have display outputs, in some ways it kind of helps, but it could actually make things worse, because again, then you can't resell these cards. The only person who benefits from that is Nvidia. So it really comes down to what happens after the 3060 launch, in my opinion. That'll determine whether this ends up being a good thing or a bad thing. The only thing that immediately points to me, or that sticks out to me for being good, would be that the 3060 launch, in theory, should be better because there should be less miners willing to buy them by the hundreds or thousands because they might be nervous about how well this is all going to play out. So hopefully at least the 3060 launch is better if nothing else. But whether the long term this ends up being a good or a bad thing, we really don't know at this point. Let's see. Any leaks on R5 5600 FRN says? Well, yeah, I wouldn't expect to see that anytime soon because, realistically, if they're selling every single 5600X they can get for $300, yeah, they're in no hurry to get that thing out. All right, who's spamming? Oh, FRN. Stop spamming, FRN. Get put in a timeout. Let's see. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think that this is actually a good thing that Nvidia is trying to block mining, or do you think it's going to backfire and it'll end up long term actually hurting things? Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's see what we got here. Nvidia could have put the silicon into 3050, 3040, etc. Yeah, my guess is their plan was to put it in the 3060, 3050, 3080 Ti, and 3070 Ti. I think Comp87Kimi over on Twitter was talking about how they were maybe going to re-release all the cards. But if it doesn't stop people from mining, then there's no point. So we'll see. Jay Stees says even at the half hash rate, at the half price, the 3060 still makes sense for miners. Yeah, but the problem is you're realistically being able to buy them in bulk. The miners would probably have to buy them at what, $500+. So I don't know. It might not make sense. It might make more sense to try and still get 3080s and 3070s and maybe buy mining cards. To me, if I was someone who had like a big mining operation, I would not be buying these mining cards if they don't have display outs, especially if they're going to be driver locked as well. Because there are ways to get around cards that don't have display outputs, but if they're also driver locked and they have no display outputs, then it just makes no sense to invest in them, in my opinion. So that doesn't seem like a good solution if they're not going to be putting display outs on it. Let's see what people are saying here. Crypto, all right, KR1 says crypto needs to crash already so we can all buy RTX 3080s for $2. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And, frankly, I know crypto has crashed really hard in the past, but now that you have like some businesses actually taking it as payment, even if it crashes hard, it's probably not going to crash nearly as hard as it has in the past. So in the past, I might have thought that at $40,000 maybe it'll drop down to like $8,000. At this point, it may not crash like that ever again. It may only like dip down to $15,000 or $20,000, which is still a pretty huge drop down, and that could, if the difficulty curve is also very high as well, make it so that it's less profitable to mine. But overall, yeah, I'm just I don't see it happening like it did in the past. There's a lot of more faith in it right now. My only problem with crypto, well, I have a couple problems with crypto. One, there's a lot of computers just sitting there out there pumping out tons of electricity, basically unnecessarily, to solve all the transactions that are going on. And so it seems a little bit more wasteful than it really should be. That being said, basically everything you do with electronics is wasteful. This just seems like to a scale that we haven't seen before. And my other problem with this is that it's not really backed by anything. It's crypto is backed by basically your faith in it. With the U.S. dollar or the what I like to call the euro dollar, those eddies over there, the government kind of tries to back that in the banks, but basically nobody backs crypto. So it's a little bit more risky. It's definitely more volatile. So to me, I feel like it's going to dip. I don't know when that's going to occur. I don't know how hard it's going to dip, but it's really a lot more volatile. Yeah, get those euro dollars, baby. All right. Let's see. Yeah, the best time to mine is when mining is not profitable. In a way, you're correct, because if people aren't doing it and then it jumps up, then and you hold on to that crypto, it's actually, yeah, that's probably a good time to do it. And I think people are catching on to that. And so then that's probably another reason why it may not drop as hard. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe it'll just completely crash. Maybe like the UN and the US decides to ban cryptocurrency and they make a one world currency, and so out of nowhere, Bitcoin drops to literally zero. Maybe it's worth literally nothing. We'll see. It's a really risky thing to put your money in my opinion. I mean, I'm certainly no financial advisor, but like, there's a reason why at $50,000 I'm not going to put money into crypto. It just seems really risky. All right, let's see. Ocean says, by the way, Ocean, stop spamming. I can see you. All right, you put you in a timeout. You keep it up. Okay. He says, do you know when Nvidia are restocking on the 3060 Ti, because I've been trying to buy it for a while now? I think there's probably not going to be as many 3060 Ti's as the 3070, simply because the 3070 is going to be able to sell for more money. So why sell essentially a cut down version of that for less money? Doesn't really make sense if you're selling everything you can get. So it's just going to be harder to find. Let's see. We got, okay, Casper says also about crypto, now it will always exist because it's a good way to sell/buy dark web stuff, as it's impossible to track. I know that's why a lot of people like it. Yeah, crypto, it's a really good idea. It's just, it's sketchy, it's volatile, nobody backs it. So it's not something that like I would personally bank all my money on. Especially when it's already at $50,000. I know there's some people who are like really into it, but it's just, for me, I'm like, eh. So, again, don't take anything I tell you as financial advice. Don't be buying or selling crypto based on what I tell you, but I'm just telling you what I personally feel about it. Any idea when YouTubers will get access to the 3060, Manesh says? Well, apparently people have had 3060s for a long time because someone was just blatantly selling them in other countries. I have no idea how that happened. If I was Nvidia right now, I'd probably be figuring out who did that and never supplying them again, which you should definitely do if there's anyone who works for Nvidia right now and can get that message across who's watching. I doubt it, but if you are, yeah, I would be tracking whoever did that down and stopping that, because it's one thing to send out review samples. It's another thing for retailers to be wholesale selling RTX 3060s weeks or even like a month before it launches. That's ridiculous. And by the way, we got a whole lot more viewers now. Thank you everyone for watching. Two things, if you haven't heard this already. One, if you're watching right now and you do like these live streams, hit that like button so that more people see it. And then the second thing is, a new thing that I'm doing right now is, if you're watching the stream and you do a super chat, I'm actually going to give you a link to the Discord if you do a super chat. But you got to reach out to me on either Twitter or through my email to get that link to the Discord. My channel Discord, it's actually quite a bit of fun, so it's a good way to ask questions in there as well. I do get back to people in the Discord, as I have it right on my phone, so I can just get back to you pretty quickly. But yeah, so if you send a super chat, that's another good way of doing it, because typically, otherwise, the only other way to get into the Discord is Patreon. So I figured I'd open it up more to people who do super chats. But in any case, let's see if we got some more questions in here. Do you think the i7 10700K is good with a 30 series? And if so, which one? Yeah, the 10700K it's a great CPU right now, especially if you decide to like overclock that thing. That's awesome. It's good for any graphics card. Honestly, it's a great CPU. All right. Zulu Warrior MBEK. Jeez, that's a mouthful. Thank you for the 5 there. They were selling 3060s in Pakistan, and surprise, surprise, they're Zotac cards. Yeah, I have a personal beef with Zotac. I'm not going to tell you not to buy Zotac or anything, but like, I personally refuse to buy Zotac ever again, because at least from what I read online, don't quote me on this, but what I saw from reviews was that these Zotac cards, their power delivery wasn't very impressive. The cooling performance looked pretty good overall from what I saw, but the power delivery wasn't very impressive. The overclocking wasn't very impressive. They seemed too expensive. Like when the EVGA cards went up in price because of the tariffs, the Zotac cards, it looked like at least a few of them went up like a lot more. That seemed a little bit suspicious to me. And then on top of that, of course, now you had that Twitter post from them saying that basically, in my opinion, they were basically endorsing mining, as they shared a picture of just a whole mining setup and saying, oh, a bunch of Zotac cards hungry for coin, which is just so tone deaf. I can't believe they did that. So yeah, I have a personal beef with Zotac, never buying them again. I've only bought one card from them secondhand, and the cooler, the fan stopped working on it. So I've had nothing but bad experiences with Zotac. I don't like them as a company, and I will never be purchasing a product from them ever again, nor will I ever be doing advertisements for them, because I do not like their current direction of their business. We will see if that improves in the future. But thank you again, Zulu, for the 5. Make sure to send me a message on Twitter or email me, and I will get you a link to the Discord. Channel Discord is awesome. All right, let's see what we got here. Someone said Tough or Strix. I think for price to performance, Tough is like the obvious choice, but if you want like the hands down best, I would go with the Strix. So nice question, Prodigy. Got FRN in here again with the oh woo. I don't even know how to say that one. Let's see. I mean, Strix is going to be better, but is it worth it? Depends on what you want. Oh, I should probably say that we are live in the Discord right now. We are live. Spelled that one bad. Okay. All right. Mrinal says, in India, retail scalper here, quote, they are saying 3x the price of GPU high because of mining, but in India, mining is not allowed, and they're just doing it for more money. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, thank you, Michael Arenas, for the $5. If I'm building my first PC, should I wait for 3080 to become more readily available? Well, right now you pretty much don't have much of a choice. Thank you, Michael, for the $5. Again, send me a either an email or get a hold of me on Twitter. I have my messages open, so you can just message me, and I will get you a link to the Discord. But yeah, you don't really have much of an option right now. You kind of got to wait, because getting a 3080 is really, really hard right now, because Ethereum just topped over $2,000. The difficulty is getting higher and higher, it seems like, but like the profitability seems to be as high as it's ever been. A lot of people are starting to get into like making small-time mining systems, and so it's just near impossible to get a 3080. If I were you and you wanted a system right now, I should probably give you an affiliate link for this, but I don't want to like pause the stream to do that. Realistically, the only way you can get your hands on a 3080 is you can find pre-built systems. They're going to be kind of expensive, but if you look at them, you can typically find every once in a while a decently priced pre-built system. I know a little while ago I did a video talking about how to get a 3080, and one of the pre-built systems I found is actually only $2,000 for a system. I think it had like a 3700X or something, but also an RTX 3080. And if you consider the fact that 3080s are going for like $1,700 on eBay right now, I mean, that's kind of a good deal at that point to get the whole system for that. So realistically, if you want one right now, pre-built's probably your only option. Otherwise, you pretty much got no option but to wait. You can try and follow bots and get ones, but even with the fastest bots in the world, there's just, people are buying them before they even hit retail. It's a mess. So that's what we got here. But yeah, again, thank you for the $5, Michael. That helps a ton. All right. Let's see. Can you tell me how much will I get the RTX 3060 on launch day? If you're asking about how much it's probably going to cost, they're probably going to be closer to $400 than $330 would be my guess, because they'll have these like super versions and stuff, but we'll see. All right, thank you, HYC, for the $2. Where's the best place to buy a 3060 at launch? In my opinion, probably the best place would be to be, well, you should have all of the websites open, but my plan is, personally, I'm going to be on EVGA's website, and I'm going to be trying to just do an auto notify, because I've basically given up on the idea of actually being able to purchase it on day one. But if I get in a line on like the first second it goes live, I may be able to purchase it within a week or two. That's my guess. We'll see though. You might be actually have a chance to get a 3060 if they make enough of them, and if miners aren't buying them. So we'll see. But again, thank you, HYC, for the $2. And then if you want to get invited to the Discord, be sure to send me either an email or get a hold on me on Twitter. All right. Let's see what we got. Too bad EVGA cards look like crap. It depends on what you're buying. Like the For the Win 3 3080, like I had one of those and it was really good. So, and I've had a 3080 hybrid that I was able to resell to my friend at MSRP, and that one's a really good card too. I think people have been complaining about the 3090s. I haven't looked too much into it, but supposedly there's some sort of issue or something. You might have to look into that before you buy a 3090. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. That's just what I've seen online. I've seen people complaining about it. I don't know what it is. You're, let's see. Someone says you're a completely different person on stream. I don't know. Is it not? Is it really that much different? we're at the same background, same shirt. Let's see. The videos are just more condensed, and that's just the way it is. I try and make them more condensed so that people don't lose focus or leave, you know. Let's see. You're not talking 5 million miles per minute. Well, yeah, there's just, the videos are just they're a little higher energy, and because I'm trying to get you all the information that you need to get in a reasonable amount of time, which for people on my channel tends to be around 7 to 9 minutes is kind of what they like. And so in order to do all that, it ends up going a little, I talk a little bit quicker, because when I'm in streaming, I can't like just keep talking. I'll end up screwing up my words. So yeah, talk a little bit slower on stream. But yeah, when you're trying to fit in so much information into such little time, and it's exciting, you're just like, you end up talking so fast. That's just the way it is. Why are people saying Ethereum or Bitcoin? I I don't even know what that even means. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? All right, thank you, Zulu Warrior, for the 5. Once again, I got myself a 5800X and MSI 3070 Gaming X Trio just 100 SGD. What is SGD again? Let me look this up again so I know. I always forget. To US dollar. Let's see, what is this? Singapore dollar. That's right. Yeah, thank you for the 5 Singapore dollars. For just 100 Singapore dollars more than the already bloated local SRP, so I'm a bit happy, I guess. Anyway, cheers. Well, that's pretty awesome, man. Personally, I've been using the 5800X, and you can actually use it for like content creation, no problem. It's a pretty great CPU. 3070 is pretty awesome as well. With the 5800X, what I've noticed personally is that I kind of want to move up to the 5900X, because I do a lot of video rendering and, you know, Photoshop work and stuff, and every once in a while there's an effect that it's not GPU accelerated, and so then it slows down, of course, with 8 cores, and I used to have 12 cores with the 3900X, so I think I'm going to try and go back up to the 5900X. I just can't find one. It's wild. All right, someone's spamming. We are putting in a timeout. No spam. All right. 300 seconds. Woo, that's brutal. I didn't even know it was that long. Yeah, guys, I'm going to try and get to your questions. There's a lot of chats coming in here. So again, your best option, instead of spamming, because if you spam, you're going to get put in the timeout. If you really want your your question to be answered, do a super chat, because then I'll definitely see it. And then on top of that, you might get an invite to the Discord if you send me a message as well, or you'll definitely get an invite to the Discord. So that's, if you want to get it answered, there you go. All right, thank you, Jinx, for the 5 Singapore dollars. My friend despaired at the current GPU state, believed that he would never get a 3060 at launch, and then just bought a 2060 for $300. This is sad. I mean, look, the 2060 shouldn't be worth $300 right now, but realistically, right now, getting a 2060 for $300 isn't horrible. It's not good. You wouldn't want to do that necessarily, but yeah, getting a 3060 at launch it's even if no miners buy them, it's going to be hard. It is. But again, thank you, Jinx, for the 5 SGD, and make sure to send me a message or email me, and I will get you a link to the Discord. Oh my gosh, we got someone else spamming again. Here we go. Timeout. Timeout for you. All right, in any case, let's see what we got here. I got a 3070 yesterday. Oh, nice dark blade. Very nice. Just ban the spammers. See, no, I don't want to ban people, Steez, because I want them to ask their questions. It's just, and like the problem is I can put in a delay, but people don't like the delay. I might have like a 2-second delay or something. The better way to do it is just for them to just stop spamming. I don't want them to not ever come back. So that's, yeah. All right, Bungo says, nice name, by the way, Bungo. That reminds me of that video where that guy was mining Bungo coin, or he was doing the Bungo mark. I can't remember what it was. Where can I get a 3060 RTX in UK when it's out Thursday, please? There's no specific place. Basically, if you need one, what I would do is I'd have like, I'd stand outside of like your equivalent to whatever a micro center would be, like 24 hours beforehand. This might even be a bad idea because you might not get anything. You might just waste your time. But that's, if you absolutely are willing to do anything, stand outside of your equivalent of a micro center day before they come out, and have your phone on your multiple phones and have a bunch of websites open and trying to be doing everything at once. Basically, in that way, you might actually be able to get something. All right. Do you think the PC part market will stabilize after Corona? I think it will to a certain degree. I think it will. We'll see. I think like that needs to end and mining needs to end. Once those two things end together, it should stabilize, but we'll see. All right, someone's spamming again. We are going to put you in a timeout. Naughty, Jacob. But in any case, let's see what we got here. I was about to do my first PC build, Mark says, but I did not know what the GPU were getting scooped up by miners, so I can't build the PC now because there's barely any GPUs on the market. Yeah, it is rough. It is rough. All right. Raghuvansh says, I spoke to a bunch of suppliers in India. Nvidia has shared absolutely no information about stock to any of the distributors. They are as clueless as the rest of us. That's pretty wild. Dude, man, that's so crazy. All right, someone. Oh, we got someone in the Discord now. Spartan44 hopping on. Let's go. Lol, spam in the YouTube chat. Yep. Oh, I'm still using caps on accent. That's fantastic. All right. The Mercia says, when is the next big drop? I'll tell you this much: they never happen on Saturday or Sunday, at least from what I've seen. Justin Vicars, I think I've seen you here before. And welcome back. No, Cameron Hazard, it's fine, but you can still get more FPS with better CPU. I don't know what that's in relation to, but welcome back to the stream. Anyway, let's say you should turn on slow mode. Yeah, next time I might put on like a few seconds in slow mode. Last time I did like 10 seconds if people didn't like it. So maybe I'll do like 3 or 4 seconds. All right, Justin Vicars says, yes, unfortunately, I have to go to work. Well, you got to do what you got to do. Everyone's got to go to work. All right, thank you, Mr. Dutch, for the $2. What is the decent price? What's a decent price for a 2080? Well, right now on eBay, they're going for $700. It seems like that's absolutely ridiculous. Realistically, they should be probably like $300, somewhere around there. Like if you have to have a video card and you're willing to buy one right now, I certainly would not pay more than $500 for one, because you want to at least be getting it for less than it was retail when it launched. But it's a bad situation now. But again, thank you for the $2, Mr. Dutch. If you want to get added to the Discord here, you can go ahead and send me a link. Or sorry, not send me a link. You can go ahead and send me a message over on Twitter, or you can get a hold of me via my email, which of course both of those are available right on my channel. But in any case, again, thank you for the $2. Okay, let's see. Time Hill says, when will computers with RTX 3060 most likely come out? Like pre-builds? Maybe even the day of, probably at least a little bit after that. Maybe we'll see. Shaft Peter says 6900 XT for 1600 euro. Absolutely not. Do not buy that. That's my guess. And I know there's a lot of people, I want to talk about this because this kind of ties into the title of the video of Nvidia trying to stop mining on the 3060. People get, some gamers are getting mad, worried about their GPUs getting, like, not being able to mine on them anymore. The thing is, if you have a 3070, 3080, or 3090, or 6800 XT, 6900 XT, etc., all the cards that are currently out right now, they shouldn't be trying to stop mining on them. There shouldn't even be any drivers coming out trying to stop it, because I think that they know that it's a silly concept. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. However, if you're someone who's like going out there and you want to buy, say, 1600 euro, 6900 XT, and your justification for it is, well, I'll just mine the rest of it off, that could work. Or it could not. You're basically taking a gamble. So what could happen is, yes, you could end up basically getting it all back by mining, or even paying off the whole entire card because if this lasts long enough. However, it could also be that people try and stop you from mining on it. It could be that a one world currency replaces Bitcoin and Bitcoin's worth nothing. It could be that Bitcoin has a giant crash and it's no longer making very much money. We have no idea what's going to happen, so you're taking a big risk. So in my opinion, I wouldn't buy something for way more than it's worth because you think you can make it back with mining, because you might not be able to. So that's just my opinion on that. All right, thank you, Ryan Casimir, for the $5. Be sure to send me a message over on Twitter or get a hold of me on my email if you want to get added to the Discord. What's a more realistic goal, he says? Getting a 3060 Ti from Best Buy drop or a 3060 on Thursday? Losing hope on getting a new card for a good price. Yeah, I would say your chances of getting a 3060 may be higher just because it seems like on launch day, there's a lot more opportunities. There's going to be a lot of people trying to get one, including me. So you're going to have to be fighting people like me to get one. But realistically, 3060 is probably your better shot. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I would be trying for that, getting in some sort of waiting list, maybe just having a bunch of websites open. But if no miners are buying them and there's, you know, a decent amount of demand that's been met already and you wake up early and you get to it, who knows? You might be able to just buy one. We'll see. You might have like a minute to buy one. But we'll see what happens there. Again, thank you for the $5 and send me a message if you want to be added to the Discord. All right, and then we had another, I really dumb sent me $5. Thank you for the $5. Couldn't Nvidia just release mining cards with an expansion slot for a video out to be connected at a later time? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And Nvidia, by not including display outs on these mining cards, is, in my opinion, a huge mistake, because maybe for them it's not a huge mistake, but for the market as a whole it's bad, because the only person who actually benefits from that is Nvidia, because these might not end up on the secondhand market later, so they might not have to compete with that. Now for miners it's not good because their resale value is going to be hurt significantly, and then for gamers it's not good because if it's incredibly difficult to get working to play games, or it's a significantly worse experience, then a lot of people are not going to do that. So it basically doesn't help anyone to not have display outs. I think they should really, instead of us going, don't do this, Nvidia, we should be saying, Nvidia, either don't sell mining cards and try and lock them out completely, or the second option is, if you're going to sell the mining cards, you need to put display outs on these. That's what we should be trying to get Nvidia to do. We shouldn't be telling Nvidia, no, don't do this, at least in my opinion. I think the better solution would be trying to get them to, you know, either put display outs on them or just not sell to miners. Try and find a way to not do it. That's just my opinion on the whole thing, though. But again, thank you for the $5, and get a hold of me on Twitter or through my email if you want a link to the Discord. And then speaking of the Discord, in the Discord, Spartan44 says, utter madness in terms of the chat right now. I think he's talking about the amount of spam going on. All right, let's see. Info for anything says, lol, honestly, just buy a 3080 from StockX for $2,000 and say you never got the card and hey, refund. No, don't do that. A, don't buy a card for $2,000. And B, do not commit fraud. That is a really bad idea. Probably saying that as a joke, but yeah, don't do that. Not a good idea. Let's see. Info for anything says LMFAO. All right, Frieza Senpai. Wow. That's quite the name. Thank you for the $5. He says, you're the Crazy PO's brother, aren't you? Is that a YouTube channel? you'll have to let me know in the comments who that is. I've never heard of them before. But either way, thank you for the $5. And if you want to be added to the Discord, you know, send me a message over on Twitter or get a hold of me via my email. All right, let's see what we got here. Lewis Smith says, so will you still be able to mine on the 3060 with just the half the hash? Yes, and people may even be able to find a way around it. We'll see what happens on that front. It may just end up being a PR move from Nvidia. We'll have to see. Looks like we got a whole lot more people in the chat right now, though, just watching in general. So if you're watching right now, if you do like these streams, one, make sure to like the stream. And two, if you want to get added to the Discord, yeah, you can do that by sending me a super chat and then getting hold of me after the live stream. All right. We want a 3060 at MSRP. Boy, don't we all. That's going to be hard, though. Ryan Maynard says, why do ETAs keep changing for orders placed back in October? My retailer keeps changing the date. In my opinion, I don't have proof of this, but in my opinion, they are changing the ETAs because what they're doing is probably selling it straight to miners before it even hits retail, and so your place in the line keeps moving further and further back. The other reason that could happen is because maybe they just aren't getting as many cards as they thought they were going to get. So, you know, if you're sitting in a line and you've already paid for something and they're not getting it to you, that's unacceptable business, in my opinion, and you should probably cancel it, but if it's coming up soon, then maybe don't. It's up to you. I would cancel it, but that might not be a good idea. We'll see. Thank you, Revenant TK421 for the $5. If you want to get added to the Discord, again, make sure to send me a message over on Twitter or via email. And he says, even if they only make about 20% of the 3060s and 80% CMP out of the same stock, that 20% actually goes to gamers, it's a huge win. Yes, if that 20% can be locked away and miners cannot get it, literally, if they did make CMPs out of 3060s, which it looks like they're not, it looks like the 3060 may be exclusively for GeForce gaming and not sold to miners, and if they can't find a way around it, even if they only sold 20% of them to gamers, your chances probably still would be better with the 3060. Now, they may find a way around it. They may be buying it anyway. On top of that, just the idea of selling CMPs without display outputs is harmful for the industry as a whole, so the CMP thing, it's not a terrible idea. They're just approaching it wrong. They're approaching it from a, in my opinion, kind of greedy point of view, and they should reanalyze the way they're going about this. They should put display outputs on the CMP cards and allow them to play games on it. That's my opinion on that, because there is a possibility, like you mentioned, Revent, that it could end up with it being a huge win for gamers. They just need to do this right. It's a good idea. It just needs to be executed correctly. So we'll see what happens on launch day. If we can all get 3060s on launch day, I'm going to cry. Like, that is going to be fantastic. We'll see. Frieza Senpai sends another $5. Thank you once again. Be sure to send me a message if you want to get added to the Discord. He says, the name is because I literally sound like Frieza. It's a gimmick my friends want me to use for streaming. Ah, I see. Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you for the $5 and have a good one. Let's see. Someone just put a bunch of mining PNGs in there. Very nice. Someone said, put it on slow. Dewey Beb says, put it on slow chat. And next time I might put a small slow chat in there. We'll see. Dante Amoros Tech, thank you for the £5. Awesome. Thank you so much. Again, send me a message either via my email or Twitter if you want to get added to the Discord. He says, evening, Connor. How are you doing? If people are in the UK, Infinite Computing have back ordered for 3080 at 134 currently. So you're saying like there's 134 people in line? Let's see. If people are in the UK, Infinite Computing have a back order for 3080 at 134 currently. That's not that much. But you'd have to like see if there's a list to see how fast that's moving. But that's really not that much. It may be worth jumping in that queue. However, if they take your money first, that's where I have a problem. I don't like that, and I think that that's kind of scummy. Nobody should take your money until they can deliver the service. If you can't guarantee that you can deliver the service or the good, you shouldn't be taking someone's money. Now, if you want someone to stand in line, even like paying $5 to stand in line, fine. But taking someone's money for a product, you're not delivering a service. Paying $5 for the service of standing in a line, you're technically delivering a service, makes sense. Paying for something and then not getting it for months, that's ridiculous. That's unacceptable. But again, thank you for the £5, Dante Amoros Tech. And again, get a hold of me if you want to be added to the Discord. Let's see. Justin K says, hi, it's me again. When do you think stock will get better for AMD 5000 and Nvidia 3000 series? I think 5000 will happen much quicker. 5800Xs, 5600Xs actually aren't even that hard to get. 5900X is so hard to get right now, and it's driving me insane. I'm getting to a point where like I had to stop myself from buying a 5900X on eBay. Now it was only like $100 over, but I'm like, no, I don't want to encourage people to scalp these. It's gotten to that point though where like when months and months and months go by and you see one that's not that much more expensive, it starts to get tempting. But I have not done it. I'm not going to do it. So we'll see what happens on that in the 5900X, but the other ones are coming in stock. Nvidia 3000 series, God, until mining's over, it's going to be hard. Or unless Nvidia takes it seriously and they really find a way to make their cards completely unhackable and they stop all mining software completely, and then they make display outs on their mining cards, then yes, then they'll suddenly start coming in stock a lot more frequently. But I don't know how well this is going to play out. We'll see. All right, Ryan Casimir, thank you for the $2. Was there ever a time you could just buy a new GPU? Oh yeah, absolutely, all the time. Yeah, it would be like new GPUs would come out. It'd be kind of hard to get them for 2 weeks to a month, sometimes a little bit longer, but it was never to this extent. Never, ever, even during the mining booms, has it ever been this bad. It's the worst it's ever been, like by a long shot. But almost every generation, you've been able to just buy cards when you wanted at some point. And I never remember it ever being that hard. There was like a 6-month stretch with the 10 series. Other than that, it was really never that difficult. The first mining boom was basically only on AMD cards that really affected them. So this is wild. This needs to come to an end. And so this is why everyone gets all excited when Nvidia says we're blocking mining on a 3060, because the idea of them trying to do something is a very exciting concept, because everyone's had enough. Enough is enough. I think mining is a waste of energy. I think it's silly. I think cryptocurrency is not backed by anything. It's like basically destroying our environment. And that's not to say that, banking takes energy. That does too. It's just the idea of thousands and thousands of GPUs sitting there crunching numbers all day. It's just, this cannot be good. And then on top of that, you got the problem of like, does anyone really believe in cryptocurrency except for maybe Elon Musk? Or is everyone just buying graphics cards to mine it to then just turn it into US dollars and liquidate it? Because that's what it seems like to me. Cryptocurrency as a concept is a good idea. It's just its current form is ridiculous, and it needs to come to a stop here. The GPU mining at the very least. But in any case, send me a message if you want to be added to the Discord. Someone says, I'm stuck with UHD 630 and i5 10400 because of the GPU shortage. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's all these people who can't get a card. Because I've been so quick at getting things, I've been able to I got a 3070 for myself. I ended up flipping it and buying a 3080. I was able to get a 3070 for my friend. I was able to get a 3080 for my friend. I was able to get a hold of a 3090 because, of course, when you run a channel, just being able to, like, realistically, in any other time, you shouldn't be buying a 3090. It's a silly purchase. $1,500 is way too much. But when all the 3080s are $2,000 and you can actually buy a 3090 for $1,500, if you want to hold on to it and then flip it later and then rebuy a 3080 or something, kind of starts to make sense. Plus, I can take B-roll of it, or really wanted B-roll of a 3090. I was also able to get a PlayStation 5 thanks to, I shouldn't even be talking about them unless they pay me, but basically there was another bot named Brobot that reached out to me that actually had really fast, like I kid you not, they were 3 minutes ahead of any other stock bots that I've seen. It actually blew my mind. It seems like they're not always ahead, but sometimes they are, and sometimes they're like way ahead. It's weird. And so then I was able to get a PS5 that way too. But there's so many people out there who just haven't been able to get anything, because if you're not following bots and having your phone on you, ready to buy it at all times, and you're checking every single day, it's just so hard to get something. All right, let's see here. All right, so then we got another super chat that just came in here. I don't remember. Is this like I can't remember if this is the Brazilian real or if it's like the Indian currency. I don't remember. I apologize, but thank you. I'm just gonna say thank you for the 100. How are Galax graphics cards? I'm considering buying an RTX 3060/3060 Ti. I'm not like an expert on that brand. It seems like Galax does make some really good ones. I think they make those. What are those called? The Hall of Fame. I think they make those. Those are really good. I haven't heard anything like specifically bad about them, so I wouldn't not buy them. So yeah, but again, thank you for the 100. Send me a message if you want to be added to the Discord, and I will get to that. Wow, there's a lot of comments coming in now. All right, let's see what we got. See if I can get to any of these. EVGA makes the Hall of Fame cards. Oh, do they? I could be totally wrong. Yeah, maybe they do. Musayurak says Brobot is US only, nothing for Canada. Yeah, he may expand, but right now it's US only because that's where he lives. So obviously is not as big of an operation. So I think there's some expansion going on. He's hiring or like having moderators come in and stuff. So we'll see what happens on that front. But for now, yeah, it's only in US. Mortimer says, will GPU prices go for normal MSRP after a month? In 1 month? I doubt it. Maybe. That seems... it's awfully optimistic. Maybe. I don't think so, though. Probably not. All right, thank you for the $5 once again, Revent TK421. Been trying to buy any 30s series card for almost 4 months now. It's crazy. Been using bot notification apps on my computer/phone almost 24/7. No luck. Yeah, it's wild, man. It took me a long time to find a PS5 just because I think probably part of it was I wasn't trying as hard as it was for video cards. But I finally, like, with that new bot software and then just really trying, I finally got one. But is it hard. I've gotten to a point with the 3080s where I'd love to pick up like another 3080 and get rid of the 3090 so I can get more B-roll, because I constantly want to change out video cards so I can get different B-roll for my videos. But the problem is, it's just I've basically given up. 3080s are so hard to find that it's basically impossible. The only ones that even seem feasible to buy right now are 3090s and maybe a 3070. It's gotten ridiculous. But again, thank you for the $5. Make sure to get hold of me if you want to get added to the Discord. We got another 5 pounds from Dante Armoros Tech. Thank you so much for that once again. Jumped up 10 places in the last week. Also got my 5900X from Overclockers only to a week. Yeah, that's the one last piece I really want. 16 gigabytes of RAM seems to be holding me fine still. I'm guessing by next year I'll probably have to move to 32. But right now I don't ever max it out, so it seems to be working fine. But I do want to move back up to 12 cores. It was just so awesome having 12 cores. So having 12 Ryzen 5000 cores would just be fantastic. So I really want to get back on that bandwagon. We'll see when that happens. That's the last piece I'm looking for. But again, thank you for the 5 pounds. Let's see. We got one more super chat that came in here. Canned Laughter. Sounds like a good product. Thank you for the $5. Make sure to get hold of me on Twitter or on my email to get a link to the Discord. He said, my last hope is JTC's giveaway. Did a complete PC rebuild to 10th gen, but still running a 1660 Ti with a 10900K. Well, at least you got like a decent GPU. 1660 Ti is not that bad. Like if you're running 1440p, you might just have to turn some play games at medium settings, maybe even in some cases low settings, but you could probably do like 1440p, mostly high refresh rate gaming, depending on the games you're playing with that card. So at least it's not like UHD graphics that guy was running. That's a rough time. So at least you got something. But yeah, it is getting rough, guys. I remember thinking it was going to get better for a while, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin went whoop, and now we're at a point where it's gotten bad. Like I know people say it's like scalpers and it's people at home and stuff, and I'm like, but it just seems so obvious to me that like when Bitcoin does this, getting cards difficulty scale does this too. It seems to be almost 1-to-1. Like it gets ridiculously harder. So yeah, mining. And when I talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum kind of does the same thing. Like Bitcoin's up to 56,000, Ethereum's up to 2,000. It just kind of seems to all go together. So, yeah. And then Canned Laughter also says, it certainly works for most games, but I think my motherboard is just always bored. Yeah, you definitely got an overkill CPU for that setup. All right, Justin Vickers says, Applite, the Founders Edition 3090 is available on Best Buy every two weeks, usually Tuesdays 11 a.m. Yeah, if you're gonna buy a 3090, get the Founders Edition because it's got a 400 watt limit, which is pretty decent. It's $1,500, so you're actually getting MSRP, and the cooler's fantastic. It's wild. Like that cooler. If I use MSI Afterburner and I set a custom fan speed, it never goes above like 58 degrees Celsius here. So yeah, it's near water cooling levels. Like it's almost as good as a 240. It's crazy. Like my friend has a 3080 hybrid that I helped him get, and that thing runs like 53C, and I'll be running 57C. And that's with a 240 water cooler, and he has less cores running than I do. So realistically, the 3090 Founders Edition with the custom fan curve is probably almost as good as a 240, like probably really close, probably within like 2 degrees, which is crazy. Is it harder to buy a 3000 series in Canada or the US? I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't know on that one. Let's see. Ooh. All right. EVGA's Kingpin, Hall of Fame is Galax. Thank you for clearing that up. I thought I was right on that one. Yeah. EVGA's Kingpin. Galax does make the Hall of Fame, and it's a fantastic card. Let's see here. Michael Marin says, question, with the CPU plus GPU shortages going on, I'm thinking of upgrading once RDNA 3 and Zen 4 comes out. Would you rather wait for current hardware to come back in stock? My opinion on that is Zen 4 might come out by the end of the year, early next year. We'll see. RDNA 3, I know people think it's going to like come out this year. I just don't see it. Like, I just don't. There's no reason. It doesn't make sense to me. So we could be like a whole nother year off or longer. So like if you see a 30 series card you can get, I'd buy it. But like, yeah, if you're not willing to sit there and try, I guess you might as well wait. Like, we got some more spam. All right, I'm going to put you in a timeout. All right. Some Howard says for 1440p, 144/240 hertz, that's a big difference. Would a 5800X paired with a RTX 3080 be overkill, or better go with 3070? I'd go with the 3080 if you're going for 240 hertz for sure. 144 hertz, probably 3070 should get you by no problem. But yeah. That was what I noticed, is the 3070 seemed like absolutely fine for 1440p, 144. All right, thank you, Jacob Wald, for the $2. That's awesome. I'm in PC limbo with no GPU. What should I do? Yeah, this is a tough one. But yeah, thank you for the $2. And if you want to get added to the Discord, just send me a message over on Twitter or on my email. What should you do? Yeah, this is a hard one because you already have your PC, so there's no point buying a pre-build at this point. GPUs are near impossible to get. The only ones you can get are insanely expensive, it seems like your only option is to, one of two options here. One, you keep trying to get a GPU and you just try and get whatever you can get by using bots. Your second option is you pay scalper prices, in which case you're paying 2, 3, 4 times the MSRP and getting absolutely ripped off and training people that it's okay to scalp things. So realistically, your only option is to sit here and wait and keep trying. And it sucks, and that's the way it is. But I was able to get two 3070s, a 3090, two 3080s, all of which have gone to my friends basically at this point. I only have one card on me. So you can do it, and there's no reason why I got those. It's not like I know people and I got those. I got them by being fast. I got them by having bots and being fast. So it is possible. You can do it. It's gotten harder since then, but it is still possible. So it can be done. It's just going to take a lot of work and a lot of patience. Let's see. We got another super chat here. Ivan D, thank you for the $5. Is an 8700 non-K obsolete right now? Should I get a 9900K for $300 or wait for Zen 3/4? I currently have 1066 gigabyte at 1080p. Now, your CPU is like basically overkill for that resolution. I mean, unless you're playing like 1080p 240 hertz. If you're playing 240 hertz, I mean, $300 for a 9900K that's a good deal. So you might as well at that point, but honestly, if you're playing like 1080p 60 hertz, don't worry about it. That shouldn't be a problem. But again, thank you for the $5, Ivan D. You got a great CPU. Don't worry about it. And if you want to get added to the Discord, be sure to send me a message over on Twitter or get a hold of me over on my email. All right. Someone's spamming, please reply, but I don't know what you said, so I can't reply, and you're spamming, so I'm going to have to send you in timeout here. I'm sorry. I don't know what to reply to, and you're spamming. All right. Thank you for the 40. Gosh, what is that? Is that Brazilian real? I think it is. Let me know. Let me know if that's Brazilian real in the comments below. But anyway, thank you for the 40, Rohit Shindi. If you want to get added to the Discord, get a hold of me on Twitter or over my email. Can I pair a Ryzen 3100 with a RTX 3060? I mean, I don't see why not. You can do it. It may not be the best experience because you'll be a little bit held back by that CPU depending on what resolution or frame rate you're playing at. If you're playing like 4K, there'll be no problem. 1440p even, maybe not that big of an issue. But if you're playing like 144 hertz, 240 hertz, at that point, maybe start looking into a different CPU. All right. Has anyone figured out, is this Brazilian real? It's rupees, Indian rupee? Okay. Rupees, dude. Okay. I get them confused. The real and the rupee to me look really similar. Rupees. Okay. Nice. All right. Let's see. What's your reaction to Linus' video on the RTX 3060 screwing gamers? He made a lot of good points, but he missed a lot of stuff. His opinion was like, by making these mining cards is taking away from GeForce cards. And no matter what happens, that's a true statement because yes, it will take away from GeForce cards. However, what he didn't see, and this happens from time to time with Linus because he's very busy, so he doesn't always see all the leaks that come out or the speculation, is that people seem to believe that these most of these cards for mining are like Turing cards. So if they're mostly Turing cards, it could actually be helpful. Now, there are what appears to be some maybe reject 3080 dies in there that is going to cut into it. So from that extent, yes, it will be cutting into GeForce cards to some extent. However, we don't know if those could have actually even been 3080s or 3070 Ti's. They may have like stuff on them that made them completely unusable. We don't know that. Now, no matter what happens, it's going to take some stuff that could go into their cards, whether that be some power delivery or some cooling components or whatnot. So that is a technically true statement. But you have to keep in mind that miners are buying all the GeForce cards anyway right now. So in a way, it seems like a good idea. I'd rather them not sell to miners at all. But if they're going to, what they need to do if they're going to sell these CMP cards, my biggest problem, and he was 100% right about this, is Linus said that with no display outs, they're just going to end up in the recycling, and it's going to hurt gamers in the long run. He's right. That is going to happen. They're going to end up in recycling bins if you can't play games on them. That's a huge mistake on Nvidia's part, and all they're trying to do, in my opinion, is they're just trying to make sure that these things don't end up on the secondhand market. I think that that's wrong, and they shouldn't do that. But the idea is a good idea. If they could lock people out from GeForce cards from mining on them, it's a great idea. You got to make it unusable, unhackable, or so difficult to get around that it's not worth buying. And then sell them mining cards that cut into gaming cards as little as possible if you're going to satisfy both markets. I think it's a good idea. It's just we'll see on how the execution is. I'm a little bit nervous that this could end up backfiring. We'll see. His conclusion in the end of just let's unlock the cards, I get where he's coming from, but I think a better solution would be let's put display outs on these mining cards. I think that would be a much better solution. All right, and then we got another $5 from Frieza Senpai. Thank you so much for the $5 once again. Got me a 5800X and 3070 by using your tips. Basically had to do no live Twitter bot and disable my two-factor authentication. Yeah, it's you just got to be so fast. But I'm glad you were able to get that because those are the two things you might actually be able to get. Like a 5800X and a 3070 or 3090, like you can get those. It's just difficult. But again, thank you for the $5, Frieza, and I hope you're having a good one. Let's see what people are saying. Philip Lee says, I disagree. Nvidia only gimped the Ethereum mining algorithm to 3060. Other analysis show the 3060 can make $7 a day in other altcoins. Therefore, it's a band-aid solution. Yeah, if it comes out that like on release day, you can just mine other altcoins, then this is no solution. Then it's just PR at that point. So we'll see. Like I said, it's a good idea. It just depends on how well they execute it. And what I'm looking at right now, I'm nervous. I'm nervous that they're not going to execute it correctly. I'm nervous that there's just going to be a way around it, or they're going to sell these cards with no display outputs, and it's going to actually be bad for everyone. So it just, I don't know. It may not help anyone. What's your overall preference with Intel CPUs, KF, KF, or non-KF? I think KF's probably the best because you're getting unlocked CPU, but it's also typically cheaper. That would be my opinion, Howard. Justin Chan says 3060 nerf will backfire. Miners will still buy it to mine Ravencoin and other altcoins. Also, the price of 3070 and 3080 have all gone up. True gamers don't want to buy 3060s, to be honest. They want the best cards. I don't know about that. 3060s are really fantastic cards. So I disagree with you on like the gatekeeping. Only true gamers buy 3070s and above. I don't think that's the case. But in terms of it backfiring, it's certainly a possibility. We'll see what happens on release. Again, it's a good idea. Depends on the execution. All right, Rock and Roll 11089 says, what can realistically be done to try and stop scalpers from hurting consumers? To stop scalpers, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's really not that difficult, the solution. Now, executing on the solution is costly and people don't want to do it. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take some personal information from people. And this is a security risk. Another reason why people don't want to do it. You're going to have to hold it on file, and you're going to have to like basically hold on to their addresses or whatever. This will limit the amount of fake information they can give you, and this will limit the amount of times they can buy from you. Now, they can go to every single retailer and do this maybe 5 times, but that's a lot better than them doing it 1,000 times at the same retailer. So it's realistically, it's not that hard to come up with a solution that stops it significantly. They just don't want to do it, and it's silly. If Nvidia blocked mining and they really took it seriously, and then they worked with retailers to stop this, they could stop it. They're just not doing it, and so it's possible. It's just not being done, and it pisses me off. All right, Revent TK421, thank you for the $5. He says, warning about pre-builts. I've tried buying 3 different ones recently for a 3080 GPU. All 3 went from in-stock to back orders the second I paid. That's pretty wild. Yeah, if they do that, then just demand your money back because that's ridiculous. They shouldn't be doing that. For a while, they weren't too hard to get, though. But again, thank you for the $5, Revent, and thank you for that piece of advice there. A-Zone, but the workaround is to use new addresses. Yeah, but like if the address you give them is the address where it has to be actually delivered to, then that limits the amount of addresses. They can use their friends' addresses. They can use a P.O. box. They can buy P.O. boxes. But it limits the amount that they can do. You may only be able to buy 5 P.O. boxes, and because there's a lot of people buying P.O. boxes. There's not a lot of them available. You may only be able to count on 5 neighbors to do it. That overall limits it significantly. It's a pretty easy fix, and it really should be implemented at this point. And yeah, you can continue making new accounts and stuff, but again, it doesn't matter, because if you only have a total of 5 accounts, or like 5 addresses that you can actually have them physically delivered to, that you can actually count on picking them up at, then it significantly limits your ability to continue buying multiple products. It's really not that hard. Justinel says, watch Linus's video. Yeah, I watched it, and I've been hearing that sort of stuff all the time. And I talked about, I'll just recap, because I've talked about this many times. He has some good ideas that he brings up from the community, or some good concerns. They're just, in my opinion, the video didn't have all the information. And so I don't think it's as cut and dry as he's saying, but the concerns are certainly there. It really comes down to what happens on launch day in the following weeks to determine, was this actually a good idea or not? And then in the long term, it could end up hurting us. We'll see. It could end up being a horrible idea. Someone says, did you see Crypto Lee's video on a 3060? No, because I don't watch anyone with crypto in their name. But I'm sure it's something not good. Justin Chan says, what do you think AMD's response will be? I think their response will be the same as it is now. Continue to barely make any video cards and allow AIBs to sell them for way more than they're worth. Radeon is an absolute joke right now, in my opinion, in terms of their ability to meet the demand in the market. It's ridiculous. They should be ashamed of themselves, and they shouldn't even be selling video cards if they're going to do this. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm so pissed at Radeon. There's just so many reasons I'm so pissed at Radeon. It's these squandered opportunities that they just get handed to them, and they do nothing. It just makes me so mad. I could rant about Radeon for so long. I love AMD, but man, their Radeon division, they have so much opportunity that they continue to squander. Thank you, Mr. Kernels28, for the $5. If you want to be added to the Discord, be sure to get a hold of me on Twitter or over in my email. He says, I was able to score a 3080 Strix/board combo back in December, sold my 1080 Ti for $485 and the board for retail. My advice is use apps to buy if possible. Yeah, use your apps for sure. That's quite a lot for a 1080 Ti these days. Well, these days it's not, sort of, but like considering what it launched at, yeah, that's pretty good return. Jeez. But yeah, thank you for the $5, and again, get a hold of me if you want to get added to the Discord. Someone says, do you think the 10600KF is a good option over the 5600X since Intel is over $150 cheap, or 150 euro cheaper at the moment? Yeah, it's a better option. It may be a little slower, but just overclock it. You'll get so close it won't matter. Much better option. Because you can actually buy it too, whenever you want, for what I've seen. Applite says, will the 3090 Founders Edition be available on Nvidia Store in the next couple of months? No, there's not. Well, I don't know. We'll see, but it seems like all the Founders Editions are over at Best Buy, is what I've seen. All right, thank you, Focus Gaming, for the £5. Shalom got a 3070 and was able to get a 3080, but I swear bots buy them in milliseconds. Yeah, it's getting really hard. But again, thank you for the £5, Focus Gaming. And if you want to get added to the Discord, get a hold of me over on Twitter or get a hold of me on my email. All right, Kasperunk says, Crypto Lead just bought a 3060 12GB and made some test on it. You should check out that video. I may have seen that because I saw pieces of a video from some guy who doesn't speak English or something, and they had their hands on a 3060 and basically were saying you can mine on it anyway. If that ends up being the case with these retail models, that's ridiculous, and this whole thing was a PR stunt, and it was silly, and it's stupid, and it makes no sense. I don't know. Oh, we got someone who's saying they run bots 24/7. Put user in timeout. It sleeps. I don't want to hear about that bot stuff. You get out of here. Oh my lord. Oh. Get out of here. Hi Iris. Yeah, but what I was talking about is, yeah, if it turns out that you can just mine altcoins, then this whole thing is just silly. The community taking their anger out, putting users in timeouts for using auto buy bots. Oh, jeez. Feel free to make me a mod, and I'll take care of the spammers / trollers for you. I'm a mod on other YouTube channels. I might. We'll see. I kind of enjoy doing it myself right now, though. Yeah. Justin Vicar says your kind ain't welcome here. Oh my lord. Yes, yeah, that's what I fear, is that you might be able to mine other altcoins, because they only talked about Ethereum, and if that's the case, then this whole thing has just been a sham. I wouldn't put it past Nvidia. They are the master of marketing. Frieza Senpai says AMD isn't an option because I use G-Sync Ultimate Monitor. For me, AMD isn't an option for a lot of reasons. One, I have G-Sync, and it may be capable of using FreeSync, but I don't think so. 2, AMD doesn't support, or at least last time I checked, they didn't support GPU acceleration in Premiere. That means the card's dead to me instantly, so I can't use it. And 3, you can't buy them. I don't even bother talking about AMD Radeon cards right now very much, because look, if you could go out and buy a Radeon card right now, I'd be talking about them all the time. Even though I can't use them, I'd be talking about them all the time, because they're awesome. It's an awesome architecture, but you can't buy them. I can't use them in Premiere. They're overpriced. It's ridiculous, and they lack features that Nvidia does right now. So I'm sick of talking about Radeon, because they basically don't exist. It's just you can't find them anywhere. Greg, you're right. They basically don't exist. And so I would love for AMD to come out and fix the market. I would love for them to save us all, but they just aren't. Justin Vicar says the AMD Radeon stock is pathetic compared to Nvidia. When Micro Center gets a shipment of Nvidia cards, they get like 150 at a time total. Radeon, they get like 6. I wouldn't be surprised. The poll I did, they were satisfying like 5%. It's ridiculous. These Radeon cards might as well not exist. And so the 6700 XT is coming out soon. I mentioned in a video, I'm not making a whole video about it, because let's be honest, how many people care about the 6700 XT when you know you're not going to be able to buy one? Like, genuinely. You might maybe be able to buy a 3060. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to be able to buy a 6700 XT. And even if you can, it's going to be for an insane price. So I'm tired of Radeon screwing up like this. It's total vaporware. You're right, typing. Absolute vaporware. Ridiculous. And what makes me more mad about it is how they were basically on Twitter taunting people, saying they're able to get one. They're basically like, oh yeah, and then who was it? Frank Azor. Oh, I'll take that $5. Yeah, you won't have basically saying you won't have problem getting them. Yeah, right. Look, AMD cards don't mine as well either. So if they start actually satisfying the demand for consoles and they get enough CPUs out there, then Radeon cards will start to hit the market in force, at which point, if mining's still a big issue, it might be your best option. But right now, they're making too much money making CPUs, and they got contracts to make these consoles. So there's no reason for them to make these video cards. There's absolutely no reason. They're making them just to say they're making them right now, and hopefully at some point you'll be able to actually buy them. I want to be able to buy them, but if they're not selling them to us, then what are you going to do? Indiana says, this is just mean, but it's funny. He says Frank Azor, insert clown meme here. There was that picture of him in clown makeup going on. Oh my lord, that was so funny. People were being mean to him, but that one was funny. That one was funny. Only, yes, 223 says only YouTubers get new Radeon. Well, here's the other thing that makes me mad. Not having it work in Premiere is so frustrating because AMD has an opportunity for so much free advertising for content creators to be using them, and they are just blowing it by not having it work. So it just, everything about Radeon is making me so mad right now. I really hope they hit it out of the park with their next card, because like their architecture is great. They just need to fix a few software things, just a couple. They're not even that many, and they need to actually sell them. Friend Pyra says Nvidia produce 400,000 GPUs every month with partners. That would be wild. That sounds about right though. I wouldn't be surprised. Justin Chan says, what would cause Nvidia to backtrack their stance against nerfed mining cards? Would anything change their mind? They're already producing them. It's too late. No, I don't think so. This whole situation's, they need to take it seriously. They need to block mining, period. And I don't know if you can do that without affecting the performance of the card. Now, realistically, the best scenario would be that they make 50 times the cards they're making right now and they just satisfy all the markets. I would love for them to do that. It can't be done. So the only thing that they can really do about it is try and not ship them to miners by working with retailers and to block it with the hardware itself. And so if that's your only option, you got to take it seriously and do it right. And I'm worried that they're not going to do it right. I think they're going to screw it up, at least in some way, shape, or form. It has potential for being a good solution, but we'll see what happens. Because it could end up being that this makes 3060s easy to get, and that could be awesome. But we'll see. I don't know. Michael says, "Don't Radeon GPUs work fine with DaVinci Resolve?" I believe they do, but like if your next thing is going to be used DaVinci Resolve, listen, easier said than done. Once you've been working with an editing software and you make money making your videos, you are not going to leave the editing software, even if the other editing software is better. It's just not going to happen. It's such a huge change to your workflow. It's not an option. It's only an option if it's so much better that you can get your work done like twice as fast. And to be honest with you guys, Adobe's software suite's really good, just as in general. So no, there's no way I'm changing just so that I can try and buy a Radeon card to use it. It's just not happening. All right, Justin Chan says 3060 has the same performance as 2070 Super, and 3060 Ti has the same performance as 3070, which is on par with a 2080 Ti. I thought the 3060 Ti was closer to 2080, but maybe not. Same performance as 3070. Oh, it's pretty it's pretty close to a 3070. So yeah, it's very close to 2080 Ti performance. Focus Gaming says Premiere Pro is pricey, though. It is. I pay $20 a month right now to get access to basically both Premiere as well as Photoshop. It's expensive, but it's a business expense, so I write it off on my taxes. So if you're not using it for business, yeah, maybe don't use Adobe Premiere. Dr. Bam says mining nerf is only for Ethereum. Other coins will be mined 100%. Fail Nvidia. Yeah, if that turns out to be the case, which it very well could be, it's a total fail. That's what's making me nervous about this whole thing. We'll see what happens. Again, it's a good idea. I hope it works good, but we'll see. Hold on, we got someone spamming. I'm gonna put you in timeout, but I will answer your question because it's a good question. Will the 3060 affect the stock of the 3090? I don't think so. Not really. The markets are pretty different. Like if miners can't buy them, if there's no reason to buy them, then maybe they'll buy more 3090s. It's certainly possible, but yeah. Justin Chan says, do you support companies already upping the price 3060 by $500? It sounds fishy, doesn't it? Yes, that's totally sounds ridiculous. And no, I would not buy those. Justin Vickar says, you don't need stock notifications for Best Buy. They drop at the same time every time, just different days, 11 a.m. Eastern. Fair enough. Someone says, should I get a 3060 now or wait for 3070 Ti? Get whatever you can get. That's at this point. We don't even know for sure if the 3070 Ti is coming out. I think it might, but we'll see. I think in about 10 minutes, I'm going to wrap this thing up, though. So if you got any burning questions, get them in now, and I'll try and get back to you. Revent TK421 says, you bring up an interesting point. Reviewers and benchmark channels like yours become less relevant because consumers don't actually have a choice. There's a lot of, I've been doing pretty well still here, but there's been a lot of channels that have seriously seen some decline because there's less enthusiasm about products they can't buy. And you take a look at like benchmarking channels, and like they've definitely declined as well. So it's gotten more competitive. It's gotten harder to get views. So like if you can support smaller channels like mine, or like Not an Apple Fan, Good Old Gamer, Red Gaming Tech, Keith from WCCF Tech, all those guys who have these smaller channels like mine, help them out by hitting that like button whenever we upload videos, commenting your thoughts in the comments below. Of course, hitting the like button if you actually like the video. That sort of stuff, sharing it with your friends always helps, and it's a really good time to do that because things are just harder for channels right now. I've been doing pretty well still. I found a way to kind of get around the issues, still make videos that people want to watch. It's difficult to do, but if you can get into like trying to figure out what people want to watch, it's harder now, but it can be done. And a lot of people are really having a hard time with that. And YouTube isn't just it's just not promoting people as much. So you got to help those small channels now if you like them. But yeah, I'm still doing pretty well. I'm very happy with how the channel's going right now. We're doing well, and we're let's go for 100,000 subscribers this year. Let's do it, baby. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. We're going for 100,000. Let's do it, baby. All right. Let's do it. No, stop that, Bia. We are doing it. We're doing it. We're going for 100,000. 100,000 subscribers. We can do it this year. I think we can do it. I think we can pull it off. Danny's World says, how's your neck, though? It's doing fine so far. Let's see. Man, we got a lot of people in the chat. I'll see if I can get back to some of these people. Chaos FNM says, I actually pre-ordered a 3080 in November. Do you think it will take a long time till I get it? It could take a really, really, really long time, because if they're doing this, I'm not saying anyone is, but let's say that they are selling it to miners before it even hits retail, you may never get it. That's ridiculous. Alexandru Corliss says, thanks for answering. You are a great guy. Keep up the good work. Yeah, well, thank you for watching the stream and commenting. Awesome. Nick Mart says, I have a GTX 1060 and I'm looking to upgrade, but everything's crazy expensive at the moment. Any help, please? Try and go for the 3060. See what you can do. That's all I can tell you. You know which 3060s might be available at $330? That's my guess. 0. Thank you, John K, for the $2. He says, your content is great. Your intros are the best. Well, thank you for the kind words. And if you do want to be added to the Discord, be sure to get a hold of me over on Twitter or via my email. But again, thank you for that $2, John K. What a legend. Colin says, I bet Tesla will start making graphics cards before Nvidia. I can get a 38. Tesla should make video cards. It's in their best interest now. Xlog says there are tons of 3000 series graphics cards on eBay and Amazon. The main problem is not doing enough to stop scalpers. I actually don't know if that's the main problem. I think part of the reason why there's so many on Amazon and eBay, and yes, a lot of them are selling, but I think there's just way, way less people who are willing to spend that much money on a video card, and rightfully so. So yes, they are on Amazon and eBay because people are making money doing it. And yes, you're right. There's not enough being done to stop them, but also because a lot of people, it takes them a long time to break down and buy something for that much money. How much do you think the 3060 will realistically be on EVGA? $360 to $400 is my guess. Martin Majernik, thank you for the $2. What's the best place to check card stock? Best Buy, and Newegg. Realistically, those two are probably the best. That's probably right, because Amazon, they get them, but not that often. You just need to follow some sort of bot probably. But thank you for the $2. If you want to be added to the Discord, get a hold of me on Twitter or in my email. Will there be a 3060 Founders Edition? PC User 83 says. Nope, not that I know of. So yeah, that's not good. All right. All right, so we got about 4 more minutes here until I wrap up the stream. If you got any more questions, make sure to hit them in right now, and I'll try and get back to you. Matt Holiday, do you know any stores in the UK I could get a 3060? No idea. Don't live in the 30s. Don't live in the UK. Don't live in the 3060. That doesn't make sense. Casperinus says 3060 can mine Ravencoin at 100% efficiency. 3060 mines more than 3060 Ti. Probably due to having more VRAM. That doesn't really make sense that having more VRAM would help. It seems like if you got at least 4 gigabytes more, doesn't make that much of a difference, but maybe. I'm a little bit suspect of that claim, but we'll see. It seems like that could be the case, and if that's the case, nice job, Nvidia. You literally did nothing. Amit Osas says, which games do you mainly play? I was playing a lot of Apex Legends. I'm taking a break from it right now because it's just I've had enough of the sweat. And a lot of my friends are playing Valheim right now, and then I'm playing Demon Souls on the PS5 as well. Okay, what GPUs do you recommend, says Matt? Whatever you can get. At this point, I'd love to make a video on that, but it's just every month I like is this the month now where I can make like best GPUs under X, and I'm like, you can't buy anything. The video would be like best GPUs to buy, and then it would just end because you can't. All right. Intervention 746. Do you think Nvidia should be more strict on distributor level sales? Yes. Like allow big e-tailers to only bulk order them, then limit per purchase person on e-tailer store. Absolutely, yeah. There's things that can be done about that, and they should be doing it, and they're not. So it's silly. Nvidia's only, I don't know. This might help, but it's certainly a PR move. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to see that. Anything any company does, they're trying to get good PR. But I worry that it's more of a PR move than it could end up actually helping. We'll see what actually shakes out. Hopefully, at least it makes the 3060 launch better. That'd be fantastic. Malik Geek says, hi, should I buy 3000 series RTX right now? It's worth until I wait for the price drop. I mean, if you can find it for a decent price, yeah, but there's like, if you can find it anywhere near MSRP, then yes. Let's see. Where's the public Discord? Discord is not public. You have to either support on Patreon or do a super chat. And then if you get a hold of me afterwards, I will send you a link to the Discord. So that's the way it works. Jay says, I said it before, it's just a PR stunt. I'll keep mining. I don't even game anymore. I've been mining for months now, and Raven is the way to go. I'll buy 3060s. I can get one. Jesus. That's kind of sad that like you don't play games anymore, though. That's all right. Let's see. Yeah, I hope with that whole Ravencoin thing, though, that could end up being the case. That it ends up being good at that. We'll see. All right, we got a super chat for $5. Thank you, Shaddix, for the $5. Discord. All right, so the way that's going to work is if you want to get added to the Discord, yeah, I will do that, but you got to get a hold of me either via Twitter or my email after the stream ends, because otherwise I may not remember you, simply because I can't do 5 things at once right now. So that's the way it works. So just make sure to get a hold of me, and I'll send you a link. But again, thank you for the $5. So yeah, so anyone else you want to get added to Discord, now's your last chance because I'm about to end the stream. So all right, we'll wait. I'll wait about 1 minute, and then we are at the time to end here. So try and get back to 1 or 2 more questions here, and then we are gonna end this thing, baby. It's sad miners are buying laptops to mine. Yeah, it's gotten to a point where it's just, ugh. Will the stream be saved? If you are in the Discord or Patreon, you should probably get access to it unless I forget. That shouldn't happen though. The streams typically have like a private link to them afterwards. If you are a Discord member, I'll try and throw that in there. They're always on Patreon, but I try and throw a link into Discord as well. Let's see. Feign on lean. I'm about to sell my 3070 for 1.1K and wait for 3080. Good idea? No, that's not a good idea because you may never get a 3080. That's my opinion. Do not do that. You may not have a video card for a very long time. When's 3080 Ti coming out? Probably April. But on that, I think I'm going to end the stream. But thank you everyone so much for watching, and of course putting your comments in there. If you at any point sent me a super chat in here, make sure to send me a link or a link. Make sure to get a hold of me on either Twitter or via my email. I'm sure I'll remember you, and then of course I will get you a link to the Discord. But in any case, thank you everyone so much for watching, and I hope you have a great Sunday. But have a good one.